among all the foreign graduates, the highest percentage of graduates in computer science, mathematics, physics, and so on are Indians.
Right.
And I think the Chinese come next and the Europe comes third. Particularly in math, computer science, and statistics,
Right.
India is way above.
Well, surprisingly, I find many Chinese students, their interest has shifted from math into financial math. And I don't know if this is an indication that the Chinese population is more interested in the economic growth, like they do business and they do finance, whereas it's always been in computer science that the Indian population among the students is very high since I came to
Yeah, because the IITs,
Right.
which train excellent students. I mean, the top talent, top graduating talent from high school
Right.
ends up at IITs.
I mean, in Europe, they have good universities, so I would not be surprised that we don't have a big number in European. In India, they have very
India
good
has no
universities.
universities. Absolutely no universities.
No, but your undergraduates are excellent. You don't have graduate schools, you mean?
What undergraduates? Outside of IIT, where do you get undergraduates from?
Yeah, but how many students do you have in IIT? I mean, all around the institutes in the country, not only in...
Most of the graduate students you have here who are good are from IITs.
Right.
Most of the major universities in India don't teach undergraduates. They have affiliated colleges that do the teaching. The university only grants degrees based on an exam. The universities where I went and got my honors degree, that program doesn't exist anymore.
Why doesn't it exist? What happened?
Education is a state responsibility in India.
Yes.
So the universities are run by state governments.
Yes.
The state governments are very parochial. They will not appoint to the faculty if you are from a different state. Say I am from Madras, Tamil Nadu.
Right.
Bombay University will not appoint me
On their faculty.
on their faculty because they will say, well, we are Marathi speaking people, you have to be able to lecture in Marathi.
Even though everyone lectures in English, most
That
likely.
may be, but that's the excuse they use.
Mm-hmm.
And state administrations are very corrupt. In Tamil Nadu, for example, there is discrimination against the Brahmin community.
Mm-hmm.
And the Brahmin community is what produces traditionally scholars and scientists and teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and they will not be hired, even if you're from the same state. So the Ramanujam Institute, which is run by Madras University, is a scandal. Half the jobs have been vacant for 20 years. They are not appointed. They're running it to the ground.
That's really difficult to believe because there are so many qualified mathematicians.
They all come from institutions. Right? Tata Institute is an excellent institution
Right.
which trains excellent graduate students.
Okay.
Okay, but they take in 3 or 4 a year.
Is that it?
That's it. You count in your hands how many people have come out of Tata Institute. Good people have come out.
No, I did not know that the numbers is so small. I imagine there's the Tata
The
Institute.
demand for PhDs in the committee in the country for training next generation of students and so on is enormous. They could appoint 500 PhDs in mathematics to faculty position for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm a little harsh, the country perhaps produces 5 to 10 good PhDs in mathematics every year. Most of the universities, what happens is the faculty
Mm-hmm.
is a professor who was appointed some years ago, does something, nothing very original, something he's been doing for 30, 40 years, little extension there, nothing at the cutting edge. He is a graduate student, he gives him some problem, he solves it, he gets a degree, he's appointed at the same university to continue the same thing.
I'm not surprised by that, because once I was on a committee for evaluating universities in Portugal, and I found smaller universities do exactly what you just said, but on a national level to be happening in almost all universities is scandalous. I mean,
The government is not unaware of this. The central government is aware of this, and the establishment is trying to do something about it. Okay? But politics being what it is, central government no longer has an absolute majority. They had the coalition government. The coalition government is a combination of local parties in states. And the local parties in states govern their own states. And so the central government cannot force things on the local government.
India produces many doctors, for instance. Why is it they're producing doctors and not able to produce other kind of professionals?
The top talent, goes to engineering, IITs, and to the medical schools. That's what attracts the best students. The central government runs its own set of medical schools, and they have a competitive exam that you take in order to enter. And the states have medical schools which are reasonably well run.
And they produce many more than mathematicians.
So IITs do not teach basic science. They have math departments, and there are a few good people in math departments. But remember that India is a country of 1 billion.
Yes.
Okay? And the university population is enormous. Okay? So there are umpteen million colleges. If you count how many are good all-round universities that offer undergraduate education at internationally recognized level, there aren't any. The central government has opened, just within the last 4 years, a half a dozen ICERs, they're called. It's like IITs, but for basic sciences. The central government is throwing money and starting new institutions. Okay? But still, that's still a small number for the country of its size. They won't produce PhDs for a long, long time.
True, but I mean, it's a step similar to what the Chinese have done with many universities that they have established as being.
But Chinese undergraduate education has always been good.
Yeah, but the number compared to their population, I mean, right? We can name a dozen Chinese universities which have been good.
I can't name 2 in India. It's sad in a way, because when I was growing up, the university education system was good. We once had it. Because people are aware of the problem. I think the government is aware of the problem, is trying to do it. But I think in order to actually achieve any success, they have to attack the problem in several fronts. And just starting a small number of elite institutions is not sufficient. You need to produce a large number of good undergraduates in basic science so they can then go on. And you need a large pool out of which excellent people can come up.
But, I mean, this must be happening as well, because India is finding new wealth. I mean, if you'll compare the state of India economically back, say, 20 years ago versus now, there's no comparison. Now it's doing much, much better, right?
Economically, it's doing very well.
So some of the money must be going, the central government must be putting money in.
Money is not the issue. The government has enormous resources and is willing to put it in education. But you can't just throw money and get education.
No, but you need money to attract people, to build universities, so...
But the problem is lack of faculty. Right? It's getting better now because you're able to at least attract the faculty back from the United States because they find better opportunities in India.
Right.
But that may change at any time.
In the US in the 50s, there were very little research institutions. And then with the space race with Sputnik and the promise of Kennedy of putting some man on the moon within 10 years, with it came lots of funding and increase of research universities, and therefore we were able to have an enormous supplies of scientists and engineers and people working in basic science.
Also during this period, there are many political refugees from Europe who came here, who were very well qualified scientists at the height of their research career, who came and who were enormous help in building up the research ambience in the United States.
Sure, they built the Courant Institute.